Okay, everyone. Let me just check a few things, see if we're all good. Run the usual audio test, all that boring administrative stuff. Just give me a few seconds. See if we're all good. Okay, looks like we good. Change the camera a little. Wait for a few people to get up in here, and we'll be good to go. But let me welcome y'all to a Ubereats Q A produced by the app Lifestyle. If you haven't signed up for Uber Eats and you're interested, check the link in the description. It has instructions on how you can sign up for Uber Eats. You've signed up, but for whatever reason, you didn't sign up with a referral code. You can actually still get a referral code added on and potentially get a bonus or a guarantee, whatever Uber is offering at the time. If you're interested in that, you can check the link in the description. And later I will put it in the chat. Also, for those of y'all that are interested, if you're looking to maximize the amount of money that you're making off these apps and you want to know how to invest it, how to make it work for you, you should check out my second channel, Financial Anatomy. That is also in the description. With those things being said, we're going to be talking about Uber Eats copying off of Postmates and DoorDash. So, supposedly, Uber Eats has now changed it so that you can opt in to getting certain deliveries if you get their prepaid card. So in this scenario, there's three things that can happen. Okay. The first scenario is what we've been doing. You go in, you pick the food up, and it's simple as that. But if you apply for this program that Uber is trying to do, they'll ship you a debit card, and this debit card will allow you to pay for orders that customers place. And that means that you would have to place the order yourself. So instead of going in there, picking the food up, then leaving, you would go there, look at the order on your phone, place the order, pay for it with the debit card, and then just sit there and wait for 20 to 30 minutes, however long the food takes to get ready, and then you leave. Obviously, that is taking a lot more time than the normal process. I say 80% of y'all aren't feeling it. Don't want nothing to do with it. And 20% of y'all said y'all have already signed up for this feature. So we're gonna have a discussion about it. Anyone who has tried it, please say in the chat, hey, I've been trying this new program. It's actually working out decent. It sucks. How's it working out for you? If you haven't tried it, what are the reasons you haven't tried it? Full disclosure, I have not tried it. I'm probably never gonna try it because I have no interest in placing orders. That's part of the reason I selected Uber Eats to be my delivery app. I like going in there, picking the food up, just leaving. I don't even have to think about it. It's very autonomous. When you start having to place the order, well, got to make sure everything is right. And if something isn't right, you will be partially responsible because it's not fully on the restaurant at that point. So that's why I don't have any interest in it. But it does mean you'll have more delivery opportunities. So it has its pros and cons, you could say. But as anyone who's in there currently, have you tried this new delivery system that Uber Eats has been preaching? I know they're giving a like $30 sign up bonus where if you sign up for it, you'll get these pings where customers can place orders. And once you get it, they're supposed to credit you $30 in your next pay. If I remember right, your next deposit. I don't think that's nearly enough, but whatever. So let's hear you guys' thoughts. Get a swig of water real quick. As usual, this will also be a general Uber Eats Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Okay. For those of y'all that are just joining us, we're talking about Uber and how they're offering these new delivery requests. So they're offering to send you a debit card, and if you get a debit card sent to you, you will start getting more delivery requests, and these requests will be like just like on Postmates and DoorDash, where you go in and sometimes you gotta place the order, then you wait. Then when the order is finished, you pick it up. They're trying to get in that industry. What are your thoughts on it? To my knowledge, I don't think they're necessarily paying anymore for these deliveries. I think, well, no. Based on what I read, I don't think they're paying anymore. So let's get see. Kari, I received my card but haven't registered it yet. Don't know if I want to do this. Okay. Sounds like you signed up for it, but you having second thoughts. Well, Kari, I will say this. One interesting thing, and I do respect them for this, they're keeping them separate. Like on a Postmate and DoorDash, especially Postmates, they have it kind of integrated to where you're getting all these requests. And let's say you just want to do the orders where you just go in there and pick the food up. You're still getting sent the orders that you got to place the order, which is annoying. Since Uber Eats is keeping it separate, I don't think it would be too out of place for you to opt out later. Maybe just let them know, hey, I don't want these orders anymore, and maybe they'll just put you back in the algorithm to just receive the automatic pickups. Let's see, Mr. Know It All, I'm digging that name. What up? I got my debit card a couple days ago. I haven't gotten any special orders yet. We'll be doing some research tonight. Mr. Know It All, since you signed up for it, did they say anything about paying you more for these orders? Like, are they giving with these orders? Have they let you know it's going to come with some kind of rate increase? Because that's something. At least with the information they sent me, they didn't make that very clear. I'm assuming there isn't, but since these orders take longer, I can only assume at the very minimum, the per minute rate has to go up. Yeah, at least in the per minute rate should go up. Let's just put it that way. Because you'll be doing more waiting than you would be on these other orders. Those of y'all that are just joining us, we're talking about Uber Eats' new card policy. I don't even know what to call this. They offer to get more deliveries by sending you a debit card and letting you place orders. Mr. Know It All, negative. All I was told was I would get $30 if I activated the card within 2 weeks. Okay, so it's just like we already covered. They're offering you a little small sign-on bonus, but the actual race they haven't said, hey, they're gonna be different. I think they might be in for a rude awakening. Because if they're not going to offer more rates, they may not get enough people doing them. I mean, you got to offer a little something to get the ball rolling at least. And in true Uber fashion, they'll probably cut the rates later, but they usually start out with them decent. Guess we'll see how that turns out. Lori, I don't like it either. I think most people don't like it. And the people that are trying it out, the biggest incentive was they'll get the extra $30. Or it's very, very, very slow in their area. So like, well, since it's very slow, I might as well go ahead and get more deliveries. David Brown, in Phoenix, after a certain time, McDonald's doesn't accept card, cash, and online paid orders only. For the hours I drive, that's almost 50% of the business, so I didn't do it. David, are you talking about in general? Are you talking about a different app? Because that's what it sounds like. Are you talking about Uber Eats? Because it sounds like you're talking about Postmates or DoorDash. Mr. Know It All, it's probably no different from Postmates. I think this is more for people who order late at night. That is a good point. Because the only orders that will really be floating around late at night, if we're going to be honest, is really fast food. And, Uber Eats is partnered with McDonald's, and I've seen them partner with other fast food restaurants, but the ones they aren't, there probably will be people who will put an order in for, let's say, Wendy's or something like that. That's probably where these card orders come more into play. And probably where it would make the most sense. Because in some markets, overnight is going to be slower. So if they do add that in the equation, it might not be so bad. Let's see. But I didn't know it was. I can't even say it's in beta because those of y'all that have signed up, y'all are telling me it hasn't really started being active yet. Y'all haven't received any deliveries. Hmm. I guess they just kind of rolled it out and were hoping to get enough signups, and then they'll start rolling it out to the customers later. Because I'm a Uber Eats customer too, and I haven't received any notice or options where hey, you can do this and place the order. Not place the order. You can order from more restaurants at a certain cost. I haven't seen that. Okay, Mr. Know-It-All. David Brown means to say is that sometimes McDonald's only accepts cash at certain times of the night. This will be a problem for these type of deliveries. Okay. Wow. So like even if you're just a normal customer, some McDonald's you can't pay with your debit card or a credit card. It has to be cash. Hmm. That's something Uber Eats is gonna have to address. Could you imagine if you wait? I didn't see those McDonald's lines overnight. Sometimes they're not pretty. You can be in that line for like 20 minutes, no kidding. And you get up to the front window and you give them the debit card. They're like, oh, we don't take debit card. And you just waited in that long line for like 20 minutes. So people are going to get kind of heated. So hopefully they're taking all these variables into consideration. I know I'd be pretty pissed off if that happened to me. I didn't know some McDonald's operated like that. Wonder why they would just take cash late night. I'd like to know the business structure of that. So, everyone, in a perfect world, let's say Uber Eats is going to roll this out nationwide. Well, they probably already have, but what would they have to do to incentivize you to actually be on board with it? Because I think more drivers would be on board with placing an order and waiting if certain things were different. Like, man, this almost feels like the Stone Ages, but y'all remember back in the days where if you waited longer than 10 minutes, Uber Eats would reimburse you $5 as a waiting fee. If they brought that back, would more of y'all be interested in doing these orders where you got to place the order? If they brought that back, honestly, I still don't think it'd be enough for me personally. It would just be a little more appealing. But how would y'all feel about that? Put that in the chat. They brought back that after 10 minutes, you let Uber know they give you $5 reimbursement for waiting. Would that be enough to incentivize you to try these type of orders? Let's see. Because I will admit, if they added that feature, it would be just a little more appealing. Just a little. I guess the alternative would be GJ Hill, nope. You say, nah, that ain't enough. You probably be willing to do it. The bag just ain't deep enough. I honestly think the best way they could handle deliveries like this, if it's this type of delivery, it just needs to be a flat fee of what you're gonna make. So it doesn't matter how long you're waiting or whatever. Like this delivery is gonna be, let's say $15. Because you don't know how long you're gonna be at that restaurant or how big the order. You don't know any of this stuff going into the delivery. So they need to just ensure that you'll be taken care of for that hour. Like if I knew I was gonna get $15 for that hour, regardless, what for that delivery, I wouldn't care if I was waiting 30 minutes at some luxury restaurant. I know I'm taken care of for that hour, so I wouldn't mind it. I think that's probably the best way they could handle it, and everyone would be happy, and more people would sign up for it. Let's see, Mr. Know It All. I used to make a lot of extra cash from the wait time fee. They stopped that like a year ago. You and me both, Mr. Know It All. I'm gonna refer to you as Mr. No because Mr. Know It All is kind of long winded, but man, there'd be days where I made like 30, $40 off of wait time fees. Children Murphy or Murray. Is this in Michigan? I haven't got a notification for this yet. Uh, I don't have confirmation if it's nationwide or not. So if you haven't got it, that means it's not there yet. But look at the corner, the bottom right hand corner of the live stream. The text you see on there, that's literally the notification that Uber gives you to let you know it's coming to your area. So when you get that in your little news feed, that's when you know it's coming to your area. Let's see. Mr. Matt Banks, the waiting fee increase and minimum tip, maybe I would. Okay, so if the customers had the tip and if they increase the per minute time. Okay. Um, I'm not sure about the mandatory tip. I never, as a customer, I've never really been a fan of that because I feel that a tip is something that is a courtesy or something that whoever is doing what they went above and beyond, they feel like they need an extra reward. So I don't think having the tip be mandatory on the customer's end is right. I just think that Uber needs to pay the drivers more. Let's see. Angry BZ. Glad to finally catch one of your streams. I'm not the biggest fan of this. This is the reason I decided to drive for Uber Eats rather than the other apps. We're Angry BZ. I'm happy to have you, and definitely enjoy the stream. And I couldn't agree with you more. When I was looking into delivery apps, well, I specifically focused on that, the delivery experience. And one thing that made me pick Uber Eats was you just go in there, pick the food up, and you're done. Like it's pretty, it's pretty robotic, pretty mindless. And I say that as a pro because it's so autonomous. Your mind doesn't have to be on this stuff. You can be daydreaming about, whatever your heart desires. You can be daydreaming about the TV show you watched last night, or what's college going to be like. Whatever rocks your boat. You can just be thinking about that. You don't have to be thinking about this stuff. It's so autonomous. When you throw in having to place the order, you can't really do that. You got to pay attention to make sure they're they're putting everything in right and they don't miss anything. And it kind of requires you to be kind of mentally present. And if they're going to require that, the rates need to be more, in my opinion, for that. I mean, if it's going to require that much of my attention, I say the rates need to be probably like 20% higher. And if that's not going to happen, I'm not interested. Let's see. K Bish, after 10 minutes in Miami, Uber Eats wants us to cancel the order. Oh, really? That's new. So, K Bish, is that the protocol that Uber recommends? Like they're telling you, hey, if you're waiting for 10 minutes, just cancel the order? And if so, are they compensating you for canceling? I'm assuming not, but hmm. It's the first time I've actually heard Uber encouraging canceling the order. Huh. Has anyone else heard that? Where Uber will recommend that you cancel the order if you've been waiting longer than 10 minutes? Hmm. Now, I will, K Bish, no compensation, focused on the Uber Eats course and the advanced course. You categorize these restaurants during certain times of the day to know if they can handle enough the orders. Because some restaurants, you'll be in there waiting for 15, 20 minutes. You just know not, if you get a ping from there, you know not even to take it because you're going to waste your time. Just, yeah. David Brown, is 8 minutes in Phoenix after the call. So this must be a different sign-up protocol that Uber's doing. Where they'll say, hey, if you're waiting for longer than 8 minutes, just cancel the trip. For those of y'all that are new, by new I mean like new to my kind of information, I always tell people 5 minutes. If you're waiting longer than 5 minutes, I would bounce. And I'll put that restaurant in a timeout, meaning I won't go back for at least a week or two. And if they're always having me wait longer than 5 minutes and I have to leave, I would just put them on the do not do business list. I just wouldn't return. At the minimum, I might go back in maybe 3 to 6 months because these restaurants, that's usually the turnover rate. Like you go to a restaurant, 6 months later, usually 75% of the staff is going to be different. So maybe by then they'll have a better system, more dedicated employees to get the food out on time. But that current staff isn't working, so that's why I'll put them on the do not do business list. GJ Hill, I'm not trying to place and pay for an order, plus wait for it too long. Just want to run in, pick the order up, and out. Not doing all that extra. Hey, trademark that because I couldn't agree anymore. Like the only way I'd be willing to do it, those orders would have to be a minimum of $15 regardless of distance or time or anything. You are guaranteed to get $15. That way, I know I'll be good for that hour financially because I'm not going to be running these scenarios in my head about I'm sitting here, I'm wasting so much time. I need X amount of deliveries to get within this hour so I can stay within my $11 to $18 range. I'm not about to have that mental conversation. Just don't do them. If they can just guarantee, hey, you're gonna make $15, doesn't matter how long you're there or how far it's going, I'd be more prone to give it a try. Hell, if they do that, they might actually be more profitable than the regular orders. I know the chance of them doing that is close to nothing, though. All right. So if y'all have any more thoughts about this topic, feel free to post them in the chat. And also, if you have any questions about Uber Eats in general, this is a general Ubereats Q A. So, any questions on Uber Eats, feel free to ask them. Guess it'll be interesting to see when this actually goes into effect. Since all they did was get a bunch of signups, but they haven't actually dispatched it on the customer end. Maybe by the end of next month, it'll be out. Because I'll know when it comes out because I order Uber Eats as a customer. If I see a sudden increase in the amount of restaurants available, chances are it's probably out. Ooh. All right. It looks like we've exhausted that talking point. So if anyone else has any questions, feel free to put in the chat. But let's just switch fully to Uber Eats Q&A. I know in select markets, those changes that we covered in the last few videos, they've been kind of in there for a while. So people in the markets that change the rate structure. Have y'all gotten to making the old rates back? I mean, the old money you used to. They changed the rates as far as the per mile rate, the per minute rate, how they calculate rates. I talked about it in another video, but it's been around for a minute. Have y'all how are those changes treating y'all? Do y'all still hate them, or have y'all been able to adapt to them, relatively well? Okay. We're at the 20, almost 24-minute mark. We'll probably only go for 30 minutes today. But yeah, if y'all don't have any more questions, we can cut the Q&A short. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Krishan, how does the Uber Eats card work? Well, according to them, I don't know if you're familiar with DoorDash or Postmates, but I'm going to give you the scenarios on how it works. So currently, you walk into a restaurant, you just show them the order number or the name, they give you the food, then you walk out. That's the current process. Let's say if you sign up for this program Uber Eats wants, they're going to mail you a debit card. And what's going to happen is when you go in certain restaurants, Uber Eats is going to ask you to place the order. So it's going to tell you what the customer wants on the phone, and then you'll pay for it with the debit card. This means that you have to make sure everything in the order, the restaurant gets it, and you will also have to wait for the order to actually get prepared. Now, I know sometimes you do have to wait based on certain things happening currently, but when I mean wait, I mean like the moment you get there, place the order, you literally have to wait the full time. Like you might get a ping And when you get there, you might have to wait 5 minutes, but the actual making of that order, it started like 10 minutes before you got the ping. So when you get there, there's just a good chance they'll all be ready to be ready. In this scenario, you will have to wait the full time. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that, myself included. There might be a scenario where you may not have to place the order. They may just have you pay for it with the card because Postmates and DoorDash do that too. I don't see them setting that up right off the bat though. And most people don't know with these companies, the way they set that up, the company itself is actually placing the order. So when a customer places the order, the phone support of the said company, DoorDash, Postmates, in this case Uber Eats, calls the restaurant. They place the order, and then when you get there, you just pay for it with their debit card. I don't see Uber Eats setting that up initially. So it's probably just going to be either you go there and place the order, or you're picking up the delivery like normal. So that's how this whole system would work. And that's also why a lot of people aren't really feeling it. Angry BZ. I've only been driving for Uber Eats for about a month now. I've heard about Quest, but have not seen them yet. Did they quit doing this? I'm in Las Vegas. Well, the Angry BZ. The thing about Quest is it depends on the demand in your market. So if you don't see any Quests, it's just a chance that your market doesn't have enough demand. So anytime you see Quests or Boosts, that's basically it's just a bait to get more drivers out on the road. And if you don't see any, that means that the fleet is currently fine. Like when high times of customer activity happens, there's enough drivers to satisfy that demand. So that's probably not going to change unless the fleet decreases all of a sudden. A bunch of people just stop driving for Uber Eats, or there's just a sudden rush of customer demand, like more people get on the Uber Eats app. So you kind of got to play that situation, by ear. David Brown, they have Quest in Phoenix, and the 3 runs for a XTRA 10, 10, 11, $12. Yeah, that's actually so like what David Brown is saying, it looks like he's saying for every 3 trips, you get an extra 10, 11, $12. Yeah, that's pretty decent. David Brown, there must be a big demand in the Phoenix area. Based on what you told me, there must be a very big demand. Think about it like this. If the demand isn't met on the customer end, they're going to get a whole bunch of orders floating around for like an hour or two. Obviously, that means customers are going to get cold food. They're going to get inconvenience. That makes Uber Eats look bad, and they're likely to go to another competitor, Postmates, DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever. They don't want that. So they'll throw out these quests or boosts to get more drivers on the road to make sure that doesn't happen. They're only going to do that if they're facing that scenario. If that scenario isn't about to happen or it's not risky that it will happen, they're not about to spend the extra money on quests and boosts. For Sean, any suggestions on increasing Uber Eats tips? Yes. In fact, I made a whole playlist on this, Krishan. I'm going to find it for you and put it in the chat. But just on the stream before I find it, how you dress has a big impact on your tips. I mean, I would say 80% of carriers, and I can say this because I order from Uber Eats. I'm a customer too. They just dress like they went to play basketball down the street. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't make you stand out. Now, if you dress, I'm not gonna say like you have a tuxedo or what, just wherever you're delivering, just look decent. Maybe a casual look, like for instance for me. And note that I'm a male, so this would be for me, but like a polo shirt and jeans or slacks, you're gonna look better than most of the delivery drivers. A big fat smile when you give them the food. A lot of delivery drivers look bored as hell or they're pissed off or something. Just a big smile goes a long way. And one thing I also do, I usually throw in a joke to make them laugh. Now, you don't have to do that, but if you can, that helps. Let's see. Now I'm finding that playlist for you right now so I can put it in the chat for you. Uber's tips. Okay, here we are. Ubereats tips. There we are. So check that playlist out. I made videos specifically on how to increase your Uber Eats tips. Miss Geechee77, can you see the customer's address before picking up the food yet? Yes, I can, but that's in my market. I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth market. Now, in select markets, they made changes so that you can see the drop off of where the customer is going, the restaurant you're going to, and also how much Uber is going to pay you for it. Now, it hasn't rolled out nationwide, but I'm anticipating it probably will. So, what market are you in? Because I say eventually that's going to hit all markets. Right now, it's in select few markets. Okay. That's 30-minute mark. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start closing. I'm in California. I can only see the restaurant. So, Miss Geechee, you're saying when the ping comes up, you just see the restaurant. You don't see nothing else. Like, is that what you're saying? Because that would be the first time hearing of it. It could be that they're rolling it out in your market, but it hasn't been completed yet. Because that sounds like they're rolling it out. Because in most markets right now, you just see a ping with a bag on it. It doesn't show the restaurant or where it's going or how much you're getting paid. So if you're seeing a restaurant, that might be a sign that it's about to come to your market. You can always ask Uber directly. Too Smooth 71. It's not in Houston yet, neither. Yeah, they haven't exactly said when it's going to be rolling out nationwide, but I'm assuming it probably will because I don't see any reason why it won't. Their competitors, everyone is showing it, so that they can't get away with not showing it in most places anymore. Let's see, David Brown, Phoenix has it. Reese Geechee put that emo face. It couldn't hurt to ask Uber. I mean, by ask I mean ask them when is this feature coming to your market. Don't ask if they're gonna do it. At this point, they got to do it. I mean, shoot. But oh, does anyone have any any more questions on the Uber Eats before we close out? David Brown, that and how much you will make. Yeah, so like in the markets, I remember Phoenix being on that list that they said it'd be hidden. So in certain markets, you can see how much you're gonna make, the restaurant, and also the drop-off location. Mm. All right, everyone. If that's all the questions we have, then we'll go ahead and close it out a little early today. I mean, keeping it 100. After this stream, I'm about to get out and hit it myself. So appreciate y'all for tuning in for the Ubereats Q&A. When we have more data on these orders that Uber Eats wants people to place once they get that debit card, we'll probably have another Q&A. You know, but for the time being, we just gotta work with what we got. I always say stay safe, stay profitable. Get out there and make that money. If you haven't checked it out, check out the Uber Eats training course and the Uber Eats advanced course so you can maximize your income. Angry BZ, thanks for the videos. They've been loads of help. Hey, much appreciated, Angry. That's what I'm here for. Be safe, be profitable. And if y'all are looking to find out how to manage your finances so you can get ahead of the financial game, consider getting my book, The Anatomy of Financial Success, and also checking out my second channel, Financial Anatomy. But this is the Ubereats Q&A for the app lifestyle. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.